ball. We called it. I was like, all right, Scat. I was like, Scat, please, like, make a good throw. And he set up, and I saw pressure in his face. I got kind of scared, and I was on silent. I saw him throw it, and it like wiggled a little bit. So I was like, oh, I don't know if it's a good ball, but it landed right where, right in Badger's lap. So obviously super cool. I got super excited for him on silent. It was a super cool moment. I mean, shoot, that's his second touchdown pass. Maybe
one got called back.
One did get called back. Okay, yeah, but I mean, he's like tied for second on touchdown passes this year. So. It's super cool. I mean, Scat is Mr. Do-It-All around Tempe, so he's Mr. Tempe. So,
is he the team's punt, pass, and kick champ then?
Literally, he's definitely punting, kicking. I might be able to get him in kicking, passing. I'm probably gonna take T still, but no, I mean, it's just super cool to be able to like see how versatile players can be. But yeah, no, it's super cool for Scat. I was happy for him.
Did you ever think that you'd be throwing passes in the Rose Bowl during a game?
No, hell no. What? No. I mean, like, it's so funny because I always would talk to Dilly like, hey, bro, let me throw one pass. And then it's like that one, like, when you careful what you wish for moments because then you end up playing, like, quarterback for a good point out of the game. So it was definitely nerve-wracking. Like, I remember the first snap, I was, like, shaking my hands. I was, like, nervous. But no, it's super cool. I mean, it's just, like, that's something you dream of. I mean, obviously, I got to play in the Rose Bowl for the last time, obviously, in the Pac and stuff like that. So, I mean, shoot, we may never play UCLA again, in recent years while I'm here, obviously. But, I mean, it's just super cool to be in the Rose Bowl, to experience a moment like that, be able to go and say, like, I threw a pass in there, and I got to be one of the last players to play in there. It's definitely a super cool moment for me.
So did you, I know you have always had confidence in that arm. Did you campaign for kind of, that role to get a chance?
Like, I put in, I may have said some things over the past, year or and a half or so. But, it's just, obviously I played quarterback in high school, so I think it was cool to be able to be versatile out there, run different things. So, being able to run it last week was super cool. Obviously this week, have a different game plan coming in. We're going to figure everything out. But, it was definitely a super cool moment I won't forget for sure.
What's it like?
What have you learned about yourself this year that's going to help you be a better version of yourself in the future?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think the biggest thing is knowing it's going to be okay. Especially when in situations like this, when you're having a season like this, obviously the morale around the team is still good. Obviously we have, our goals that we want to reach and stuff still. And so too, even for me personally, obviously like stat-wise, whatever you want to call it, the year that not a lot of people necessarily expected. Hell, I didn't even expect it. But, it's still, if we're winning football games, I don't really care. I just want to win. I want to be able to, help the team win, whether it's running for 14 yards and throwing for 2 yards and we win the game, or having 100 yards receiving. So, it's just one of those things where it's great to see us come out with a win like that. Everyone kind of asks me like, oh, you're not playing as much, this and that. But, for me, it's just like everybody that's getting to play on the field deserves to play. The whole tight room deserves to play. Me, Ryan, beside Bryce, like we all deserve to play. We've all got our balanced reps, and it's nice. It's great to be able to go out there and run. You get to run 2 plays as hard as you can, and then the other guy comes and does the same thing. So it's super cool to see, but, it's just, for me, it's just like a learning experience, like, hey, everything's going to be okay. You don't got to play 60 snaps in a game to be effective. You don't got to play 50 snaps in a game to be effective. You can play 10 and you can still, help your team win. So I think that's probably the biggest thing I've learned.
It's kind of hard to be self-critical, especially when you're young and you're one of the better players. From this experience, have you examined more about, like, how to maximize your own potential and ability?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about that for me is, like, I try to remember, like, where I started when I first got here, and I didn't like blocking at all. I didn't want to, I wanted to play tight end, but I didn't want to block. I was like, let everyone else do that. So, I kind of had to, grow there and grow up and be like, hey, like, if you want to be a good tight end and you want to get drafted and do all this stuff, like, you're going to have to, like, eat it. So, I think that was kind of the big thing, even, like, spring ball, fall camp, I was just trying to get better at that. And then, obviously, like, probably the coolest thing that I've ever had happen to me was making that PFF team, and I didn't catch a pass, honestly. And I know we got our ass whooped, but still, like, I never thought I'd be in that situation, so it was super cool. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is, like, you can go watch all the good plays and when you're done playing and all that cool stuff. But right now, it's like trying to figure out the stuff I'm bad at or the stuff I need to work on to get better at it. So that's kind of what I'm focused on right now. I'm just, learning with everything and, like, taking everything with a grain of salt. Like, like, hey, I didn't do this good, but next week we're going to go out and do better. So
we took the trend a few minutes ago. Obviously, he's a roommate. Can you just take us behind the scenes of those quarterback discussions last week?
Basically, I told him, I was a little over my head. I said I'm probably going to throw for more yards, probably more touchdowns, but, I was just talking to myself. But, it was super cool. It's, like, weird, like, being in there, and it's like, hey, bro, like, we're competing, who plays more, like, they might put me in if I play good. So it was funny just joking with them and didn't have a good time and, like, saying, like, hey, don't throw a bad ball. Like, they'll put me in. Like, don't be scared. They see me in practice. So, but it was super cool. We got to talk about it. Obviously, got to watch a lot of film together, and I got to ask a bunch of questions about, like, reading the ends and stuff like that. So it was super cool, and it ended up working out, obviously. So after the game, it was a good little laugh. I was like, I went 2 for 2 for 2 yards, and I drew 2 PIs, so I'm 4 for 4 off the day. So.
Are you competing more with Trent or competing more with Cam?
I don't know. Scats might be beating us both right now. But no, it's just be all three of us. You know, like Scat came over and like we all just hang out, joke around, play Madden, and talk about football. We watched the game yesterday, and we were all just talking about like, you know, how super cool that was that all three of us got to be like in that group and like throw a pass and get to play in the Rose Bowl and stuff like that. So it's a super cool moment. But yeah, I'm definitely competing against Scat right now. Scat has a touchdown, so you know, if I get to go back in a quarterback, my goal is to throw one. I got to at least tie it up. So
what's it like being you know, having the staff YouTube and stuff on a Tuesday, and you guys are out there running in the Rose Bowl on Saturday?
You said what?
Like a staff that's like looking up stuff up on YouTube, you know, with the swinging gate formation and such, and then implementing it on Saturday.
Yeah. Okay. And I just want to say, I'm not going to take credit, but I told him I ran swinging gate in high school. I told him that when he got here. So I was like, if you ever want to throw it, so I'm going to take a little credit. But no, Coach Marv is like, he just kind of, he had told us like, hey, if you want to get your players out in space, you want to do something different, like that's something cool. So obviously Coach Dilly went and looked that up, and then we got to, you know, kind of experiment, play with it on Saturday, and it worked out. So, you know, it's obviously super cool. You know, I mean, like, you don't see a lot of colleges like doing crap like that. Like, honestly, like I remember, like literally, I did it in high school at a 2A high school where I went to school with 28 kids. So like, it's, you don't see that stuff. So like, you know, it's super cool, and obviously you get to see like sometimes, you know, when you put the right game plan together and stuff, like it's gonna work. So obviously it ended up working. We came out with a W. So you know, obviously we're on to Oregon now, but no, definitely super cool moment. It's a game I'll definitely never forget.
What's it mean from like a player's perspective, just to know that a coaching staff's gonna basically kind of look under every stone and kind of do everything possible to find out the best game plan, however unorthodox, to put you guys in the best position to succeed?
It's awesome because it just tells you how much work they put in, especially, you know, I mean, shoot, we're dealing with so many injuries and so many nicks and this and that, like whatever. So, you know, it's just like for them to be able to go like, you know what, we got to go the extra mile to find something that's going to work, to put guys and players in spots that are going to be successful. So, you know, obviously it worked out. Like I didn't catch I caught one pass, but I got to run the ball for a lot of times and got a lot of first downs and got to do stuff like that. So, you know, it's just putting guys in spots that are going to help us be successful and win. And obviously you got to see that Scats, I don't know if you want to call him a quarterback, but a wildcat quarterback, but he can throw it a little bit. But, you know, I mean, it's just super cool. So, you know, I got told I had a really quick release, so that made me feel really good.
The arm looked good.
Someone told me I look like Aaron Rodgers, so I'll take it. And I was like, hey, I mean, I wear 12 for a reason. So, but, you know, obviously, you know, the coaches did a great job. They had a great game plan. You know, I mean, shoot, they're being unorthodox, but hey, it worked. So, you know, obviously they're going to keep that path going forward. We got obviously Oregon and then a really good U of A team so that we're going to get to play in the next 2 weeks. So we're excited to see what's going to come up and how the game plan's going to fit.
Dillingham acknowledged Saturday that earlier this year he challenged you, right, to take steps forward. Now that you're some weeks removed from the tweet situation, I'm curious what you've learned since then and how that moment might have what you took in terms of perspective.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd be completely honest. In the first couple of games, I sucked. I didn't play well. I didn't hustle. I didn't play hard. I mean, I was kind of just out there going with, I don't want to say going through the motion, but kind of just worrying about, you know, where I wanted to be. I wasn't really like focused on my routes. Like, I was worried about getting open instead of running the right route, doing this and that. So obviously having a meeting with him, getting to talk to him, and, you know, obviously after I was sick and the whole Colorado game situation, we kind of had to sit down and talk about like, hey, like this is what you need to do in order to be successful. And, you know, obviously a mutual respect between me and him and a good friendship and a great relationship. You know, he told me like, hey, this is what I want to see for you. And then, you know, the next 2 games, I had 2 of the best games I've had. So probably the 2 best games I have had. I'm gonna count this past one too, just because I ran the ball good. But like, you know, I mean, it was a challenge. I mean, he told me like, hey, you can either do this or like you can just, you know, we can play Bryce Ryan Messiah. And I was like, I mean, obviously, yeah, they deserve it. So, you know, it's super cool. Obviously, we all deserve reps. We all did a good job. You know, I think I've tried to do my best, you know, embrace the challenge, you know, keep moving forward. And obviously, you know, me and him have always been had a great relationship. There's never really been any problems, you know, kind of just, well, obviously there's miscommunication sometimes between players and coaches, but, you know, obviously me and him were able to have a conversation that did, you know, obviously it worked, and, you know, me and him are all good. And, you know, obviously I'm just trying to embrace this challenge and keep moving forward, you know, and try to play my 2 best games these last 2 games.